Hey everyone, this is Terry from Terry's Philippine Journey. We're over at Santo Tomas. Hopefully I said that correctly. I'm always getting the names a little pronounced not very clearly, but anyhow, a friend of mine lives back here. He's with a church here, and they've built this little modular home, like a container, which they're going to use for a family here to live in the next few months. They're going to build off a dirty kitchen and so forth there. That's that little gray building. The big house is a lady from the church. So they built, she's living here. She's also from America. And then Samuel, he owns all this land back through here. I think he has like, I thought it was 5 hectares. So anyhow, we're over there on the edge of town. There's an elementary school. You can't really see it, but it's behind the woods there. We're just on the outskirts of town. Just a real small barangay here. Sammy owns a few horses here. That's his horses. He's selling them. So just thought I'd walk you through. It's kind of a pretty area. They got some horses, and pardon me, I'm trying to walk the dog as usual and talk and film. Most of these are old rice fields, most of it to the right anymore. They let the cows and horses, so they got a couple of horses, and some of the people have some cows back over through here. If you can, I'll zoom in, there's a few cows. Back out there a little bit. So this is all rice here. So if you ever wondered what rice fields look like in the Philippines, so it's a very wet, kind of a swampy type of situation, and that's where they grow rice. And they have these little walls off here, and you can walk on them and get around the ponds or whatever. And in the middle where it's wet is the rice. So that's what they do. It's a low area where they dig out, and so they can flood it. And they got little channels that go to one field to the other. So it's rained quite a bit. It normally may not have that much water in it this time, but it's been raining a lot lately. So pardon me, I'm trying to walk the dog. It's always difficult to film. So anyhow, it's quite beautiful out here. So it looks like there's about maybe 5 hectares out here in this area on the left and right. This is like a trail or road. People drive their cars. Most of the time motorbikes back here. Technically this is a road. I think it is. Kind of switches to a dirt trail because it would be impossible once you start up the hills to get a car back here. But it's typical province life and situation. So corn and sugar cane and rice fields and coconut trees. There's a bunch over there. You can see it's beautiful, and some bamboo there on the left-hand corner. Some banana trees mixed in here and there. So again, over there, a lot of coconut trees, a few banana trees, and all kinds of different trees, but coconut and banana are probably the most common, and bamboo scattered here and there. And unlike where I come from, America, there's some bamboo, but this stuff's 30, 40, 50 feet high, maybe 60 in places. I'd say 30 or 40 is probably a good number. And it's usually 3 to 5, 6 inches in thickness, so it's pretty stout stuff. I call it the carbon fiber because it's light like carbon fiber, and it's as strong as steel. It's very stiff, so I can sit on, I'm 200 pounds roughly, and I can sit on a 30-foot length 4-inch piece of bamboo, and it'll bow just a little bit, but it will not break. So it's very strong. They use it in a lot of construction, even making big buildings. When I went to Hong Kong, trying to watch out all the puddles here. they would do scaffolding up these 50, 100-story buildings with bamboo on the skeleton for the workers to construct the building. So in America, we'd use like steel scaffolding and stuff. So here's bamboos. Very king of that. So there's a little charcoal going on there. They're usually, when you see a fire in the woods, they're not trying to stay warm. They're building charcoal. Here comes a lady. Not unusual to see a lady riding a motorcycle. It's the main form of transportation. Hey, you're on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So I just let her know she's on YouTube. So that's how they get around. Motorcycles are the king here. So many forms of transportation, but it's trikes and jeepneys and big yellow buses on the main streets, and a few bicycles, but motorcycles are probably #1 way people get around. They live back here in the hills and all over the place back here. There's homes. You never would think in some places, but they're up on the top of the hills and the valleys. There's a lot of wide open spots, but there's also sprinkled in wherever somebody can build a house. Somebody fits in there and builds it. So it reminds me of the story about the difference between America and here. It's I'm learning stuff all the time. Is here people you know, somebody, a parent might own, relative may own 50 hectares or something, and the whole family builds on it, and they all share ownership, and cousin and a friend and whoever builds on it, and so people will have land and maybe not own it and still build on it. There's a family over here that goes across here I met. You can see it right there, the blue house, the little blue building. And somebody else owns the land and they all live on it. So I don't know if it's somebody related to them or not. Doesn't have to be. So very different. So in America, you're pretty clear. You purchase it and your name's on it and that's yours. Here, you can do the same thing, but it may or may not. Could be 6 people own it and one person, and then you could plant different plants on it and have you could have your trees and harvest coconuts on somebody else's land. It's really very complicated and lots of layers. It gets back into some of my other stories about different mistakes or things people make here. Just you always make sure if you're purchasing something to have a professional and ask all the right questions. Do you have access to it? I met a British fella. Pardon me, the dog's dragging me. But he was near Ahoy, and he purchased a piece of property, about 100 acres or 22 hectares approximately, something like that. And he got done. He just, kind of gotten here. I guess even his wife was Filipino. And he bought it, and it's like, well, I'll just drive up this lane. Well, he didn't have ownership of the right-of-way to get to his property. So after he purchased it, everybody kind of knew he was, expat and had some money. So they said, well, you can't get to your property unless you pay us or purchase right-of-way to it. So the right-of-way to his property ended up costing him, I believe all this is what I think I can remember, 3 million pesos, which is, I believe, $60,000 here in the Philippines, just to get access to his property. The gentleman eventually made a resort there. But so yeah, you got to be very careful here in the Philippines doing anything, because you can't just assume that, in Germany or America or wherever you're from, that everything's the same, because trust me, it's some similarities, but it can be quite shockingly different. So here's a beautiful young rice field. Looks like just beautiful. Looks like Ireland or something. Just a very sharp green. So it's all the way down through about as far as you can see, and back here this back side. So it's quite beautiful. You can hear the kids playing off in the distance. But I thought I'd just make a quick little video and chit chat about this and that as I'm walking back here to San Fernando. So heading back home from my hike, got dinner and talked to a preacher friend, and got to see a little gold mine operation here in the Philippines, which is very interesting. Somebody shared what they're doing here with that, so I'm learning about mining and processing of gold, which is quite shocking or different to me. So never did that or even thought about it in Ohio. So that's a lot of that seems to be going on here, very well known, and it's all new to me though. So anyhow, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. Get back with the most of them is when I can and find them. Depends on the internet load and service. We're always having brownouts or some sort of shortage here of something, so it's always changeable. Again, that's the Philippines, so don't come if you're expecting perfection, and hurry up and get everything done, and electric always working, and internet, because that's certainly not the case here. So always something new, and you got to roll with the punches and really think things through before you rush and buy land or do something. Got to ask a lot of questions. So I highly recommend you getting hiring a professional, some attorney or something that understands the things here in the Philippines. Plus you're very smart and understand that it's very different. So I've learned all these things in the last almost 7 months. So another 10 days or so I'll make my 7-month reviews. So in a few more days. So it's basically kind of like this. I just talk about things that I've been thinking here and finding and share with you. So try to make one at least once a month or every week or so. I go into a little topic about something, ramble for a little bit. So, well, thanks everyone. Kind of trying to beat the rain home. I think there's a little rain brewing up in the distance. It's the rainy season here. So almost every day we get a downpour for 15 minutes or an hour, and looks like a flood zone. Then it starts to dry up, and then may get 1 to 2 or 3 a day. So, all right, everybody, take care. Like I said, July the 5th, 2023. Thanks for watching. Bye.